Hi, my name is Jermaine Barkley, and I am the Senior Health Educator with Health Promotion here at Northern Arizona University. For those that don't know, we're a department here on campus that really seeks to optimize student well-being through things like advocacy, policy, and education on all kinds of topics. Topics that range from sexual health, mental health, stress, or as you see today, things like weed. Our goal here is really to provide a full and encompassing look at the topic, but not in a judgmental way. Instead, in a way that is going to allow you as a student or a staff member to make the best decision for yourself as the expert on yourself. Thanks so much in advance for taking the module, and I sincerely hope you get some benefit out of it. Some logistics and word of note as you move throughout. Most of the content is presented through videos on YouTube, so make sure you're connected to the internet and that connection is solid. Also, if you have any issues seeing the content, feel free to either open the video in another tab or maximize the video where available. Also, know that you do have to watch the duration of the entire video before proceeding. So, our goals for today. First, we want to understand the science behind cannabis. We want to learn about the way cannabis affects the body and brain. We want to know the relevant laws and policies surrounding cannabis at NAU in Arizona and in the United States. Understand the difference between low, moderate, and high risk cannabis use. Learn about harm reduction strategies. And then take on key strategies to identify and help a friend that might be struggling with their use of weed. Let's also establish something very important at the beginning. Our goal here is not to endorse using weed, nor is it to imply that most students use weed. As you'll see throughout the module, that really isn't the case. We'll also be talking about things like harm reduction strategies, but it is really important to note that any level of use that isn't abstinent is going to come with some form of risk. There really isn't a way to avoid risk altogether while using cannabis and other substances. On the inverse, we want this to be a non judgmental platform to talk about the different aspects of weed, its impacts, and the outcomes it can have on students so you can make an informed decision and feel supported. There are all kinds of reasons someone might choose to use weed. Some people use it for mental health purposes, some to alleviate pain, some just for fun. Beliefs behind cannabis use can oftentimes relate to how and how much someone uses a substance. And so having accurate information about something like weed is really important. For instance, the belief that weed is a gateway drug might stop a lot of people from ever trying it because they don't want to end up with a severe substance use disorder. Maybe it even makes them less trustful of folks who do use weed. On the flip side, the notion that you can't overdose on weed might make someone inclined to use it more frequently and in heavy doses, which, as we'll learn, can have some pretty adverse effects and can lead to overdose. So, reconciling our knowledge of cannabis and how it impacts us can in turn help us inform our decisions. And really, that's the goal. We want to give you accurate info to inform your decisions on what is best for you. So, some common beliefs or misconceptions: weed is not addictive. That's actually not true. About 10% of people who use cannabis form an addiction, 15% of those who start before the age of 18. You might have also heard again that weed is a gateway drug, but research shows that most people who use weed do not go on to use quote unquote other hard drugs. There's also a misconception that most college students use cannabis, but according to our Achanacha data in 2021, only about 40% of NAU students reported using weed in the last year, with just a third reporting use in the last 3 months. And then lastly, you've got to know that you can overdose from weed. While that might not accompany death, and that is unlikely, you can still experience really adverse reactions such as nausea, vomiting, panic attacks, delusions, and hallucinations.